Okay. Yay, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? MIM is in the house. The crew is in the house. What's going on, family?
Right.
Yes.
What's happening?
Yes,
Yes,
my
sir. Yes,
quarantine
sir.
cousins out there. Yes. Oh, hey, we gonna keep it moving because God is good, man. Hey, we want to thank y'all so much for joining us 9 o'clock every Thursday night. This is how we get down right here on the Music Industry Makeover. But thank you so much for joining us. We got to give a shout out real quick to one of our sponsors, Patricia with Spectrum. Make sure you give her a call since you're already quarantined. Just go ahead on and get that bundle right there. All right. Hey, $99. You got it all right there for you. Okay. So definitely go and check her out. Oh, yes. Hey, family. How's everyone doing? Starting with ladies first. How you doing? Simone.
Busy.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what's up. All right. Awesome. Okay. All right.
Wanting to be outside in all this great weather.
I hear you. Most definitely. All right, Vince, what's going on with you, bro?
Well, it's about 90. Sorry, guys. We doing 90.
That's all right. Ain't gonna hold it
I'll
against
take 70, 75. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, and Rico, what's good, man? You just north of him, so what 2 hours away from him?
Yeah, it's been kind of hot, man. So I just been working, man, trying to get some stuff done, man. You know.
That's what's up.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. We're good. Well, hey, it's been 50, 60 here or so, but hey, you know what? God is good. We still rolling on and being safe in Jesus' name. Okay, so you all go ahead and spread this out. Tell a friend. It's the Music Industry Makeover. We take your calls. I mean, well, your comments and things like that. Anything that you want to ask us, we're going to be talking about with this video streaming concerts, which is becoming a hot trend now, as well as keeping it real about for you as an artist and ways for you to find sources of income, because we were talking offline and Rico made a great point that, hey, it's not going to be business as usual anymore. Things are going to change now. This won't, the normal that we had before this virus, that's really, honestly, it's not going to be anymore. All right.
That's over with, man. It's go, but it's not all good and it's not all bad. It's we just got to reshape our perspective.
Very good. Exactly. Adapt to change, because change is inevitable, as you can see, and all of our lives have changed. Your life has changed. Those who are tuning in. Hey, if you want to give a comment, make sure you go ahead and comment on the YouTube page. All right, go to our YouTube page and subscribe to it. Okay. Also have it on my page as well, and we'll still get your comments and things like that as we share out the videos. But make sure you comment on the YouTube page so that we can post your comment on up there as well. All right. So, guys, Rico, tell the people about your show for tomorrow night.
All right. Tomorrow, don't forget, we got In the Box. We're going to have Dice Gamble. She's going to be on tomorrow. Yes. And we actually also Run is going to be on as well with me. So tomorrow at 9 p.m. from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we're looking forward, man, having a great show, man.
Awesome. Simone, tell them about your show on Wednesday nights.
Well, it's usually Wednesday mornings. I do a podcast called Eshe Music TV. I do need a new name, so if you can think of something great, let me know.
EMTV.
No, I don't like that one either.
Holy Spirit, give it to her.
Yeah, so I still need a new name, but it's basically me and I also interview people in the music business and people who are doing great things and who have tips and information that I think artists need. So I do interviews and I talk to the people. I give them tips, tools, techniques, and resources to help them grow their music ministries. That is what Eshe Music is about.
There you go.
On YouTube, look up Eshe Music on YouTube and subscribe.
All right, all right. So hey, we're going to get right into it. All right. We, as you all know, you see the live streaming. Fred Hammond has done a live stream. Marv Sapp, Erykah Badu, John Legend. People are getting into the live streaming trend, doing concerts. All right, and fortunately, I believe that's going to be the wave of the future, doing those live stream concerts. And so as you as artists, you gotta there's some pros and cons to it. Number one, the one main pro is that's less overhead. It cuts that almost about 90%. All right, money for the building, sound system, insurance, security. It's like wow, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and then for us the cons, it's like, okay, well, you know, you're missing that personal touch feel of with the audience there, and just going and also selling merchandise to where even though you can still do that, but you just having it up front and close personal relationship right there, that kind of takes away from it. Go ahead, guys. Everybody else want to add to it as well?
Yeah.
It's harder to do an autographed package if you're selling it off your website.
Right.
And I would, to add to Simone, come with a pitch. Come with something that's close to them, that's warm. I mean, even if that means giving away something.
I do interviews and
T-shirt or
hey,
CD. And you know, just don't come across like, hey, Jimmy, gimme. Yeah, going on. You know,
Gimme.
Yeah, at least try to, you know, meet halfway on that whole thing. You know, your marketing. You know, that's the idea of that whole thing. So, all right.
Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to my good friend Mo out there in Toledo, Ohio, as well as Andre, DJ Cross, Transformation Radio 12.2 for tuning in. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, what I was going to say, man, was that, you know, it's a great thing, man, that you're finally going to be able to reach out and touch your fans, but you just want to be able to capitalize on just, you know, being able to engage with your fans. That the great thing about it, you don't have to worry about the overhead, you know, and you know, if you do have merchandise online, if you got your online store set up, this is where your online store is going to come into play. So you still can sell merchandise from your online little mini series concerts that you do. You can direct them right to your website, right? Same thing. You can even have before your concert start, or you can have a break in the middle of your concert to segue and kind of direct people where to go to purchase your items. So you still can sell merchandise, but you should, if you do not have an online store as an artist, you're missing out. You're gonna need that. That is a must.
Let me just piggyback right off what Rico just said. So last week I had to get my computer needed a full upgrade. I couldn't do it just gave up the ghost. Let's put it that way. So Ron had put me on to this website that he did use to sell merchandise, and just that easy. I put it up for sale, and less than 48 hours that computer was gone. You understand? So point in case, you understand, you know, eBay, those sites. But last year, you know, I made a killing off some, I mean, they were 2002 Dre Beat headphones. You understand? But right around Christmas Eve, people just kind of like I think it was Bluetooth headphones, but people just kind of bought them, you know, just say, here. So that being said, if you got a product, you understand, it will sell. You understand? You just gotta just be persistent and like, hey, listen, you know, this is the price right here, you know, and kind of compete and get out there and be competitive as far as the merchandise is concerned.
So this is a good time right now to be an artist for us with this technology that's so accessible to you, to where
absolutely.
I mean, you can spread yourself out, you know. I mean, really.
Absolutely. And this is probably also a good time to learn, maybe learn another platform. You know, if you're used to spending time on Facebook, maybe now's a good time to get into Instagram and sees
Hey, Kevin.
what it's all about and how to use it. Maybe now is a good time to check out TikTok.
Pinterest.
TikTok is good.
Or,
Yes.
you know,
Yep. Yes.
maybe now is a good time to go to some other platforms and check it out, especially if you're at home. You don't have to commute, even if you're working from home. You don't have the commute.
Amen.
You have a little bit more time on your hands. So now's a good time to maybe study up, read something, learn something new, upgrade your ministry, figure out all your assets. What do you have to offer, and figure out how to put it out there so that people will buy it. Just because we're social distancing doesn't mean that people have stopped buying stuff.
Right.
And to add to what you're saying,
Hold up, box it right there. Simone said upgrade ministry. Watch this. So me and Rico was talking online how churches, some churches are greedy. You understand? We touched on that. You understand? This is Rico, this is the biggest threat right now. You understand? If it's social distancing and there's only 10 people coming in that, if a pastor had a mega church, you understand, and now he's by law, you understand, he's only allowed to have 10 of those members there. You understand? Guess what? You understand? Believe me, he's lost, revenue. He or she has lost revenue, number one, on that. The second thing is that they're gonna be don't look, artists, please do not look to your pastor, you understand, as a fundraiser, to get into church, because his focus is going to be on keeping those doors open.
Well, I'm gonna say too, just to piggyback on what Vince said, I think this is a great time for pastors, because you got to understand, I'm taking Vince's word, you got to understand, look, things are going to change, but for the good, and pastors are not exempt, because now it's going to be more important for you to put your finances in order, and then churches need to be streaming too, right?
Yep.
Right.
So that's going to cut the churches' overhead. If the churches cut their overhead, they'll be in a better place financially to be able to help their members in a whole nother place versus. Go ahead, Ron.
I would say not unless they got a mortgage that they're still paying on that big building. So it's like, hey, but
they can get some relief on that, because it's hitting everybody.
And honestly, even if you got and I'm gonna say this, and I know some people watching this gonna cringe and get mad, but I just want to say it. It's if you have a mortgage on your church, things are gonna change, right? It's just like if you have a mortgage on the house and you seeing that your job is gonna change, you're gonna move positions, you're gonna lose some monies. You got to be thinking about an exit strategy to get out of that house, right? Because some people some people have 25 years left on their house. They're like to go to an apartment to regroup, maybe find something else. And so as a pastor, you may have to regroup, because at the same time, you may not have that money that you got to have. And I understand a lot of pastors are still trying to stay open, because I saw another pastor, he said he was talking about a lot of these small ministries, they're still trying to have service, because that service is producing the income. But but this is the thing. You can't endanger the lives of other people, for one. But we haven't got to that yet. But for two,
I'm sorry, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, how long has the internet been around?
Long time.
It is super simple for a pastor of a small ministry to have a couple of people be in the room with him. Because if you can have only 10 or less, get yourself a chorister and an elder, somebody to do the praying, somebody to do the singing, and you do the preaching, and put the darn Cash App on your thing and get the money in. There is no excuse for putting people's lives in danger and telling them they must come into the church in order for you to get some money. That's ridiculous.
But here's the key. Hold on. Rico, hold on. Yeah. You touched on something, and I was telling Ron the same thing. I said, see, that was the pretty much what words I want to use. That was more like a weapon. You understand, that most church leaders use. You understand, the guilt trip. You understand?
Guilt trip.
For example, you understand, if you're sitting in that church, there's a couple of things that church leaders use. One, how come you didn't come to church? You understand? That's one of those guilt trips. The other one is the tithing.
What's up, Danny? Hey, but
nothing. I have nothing against it. You understand? But they word it as if God is not going to bless you. You understand? Or as if God is, in other words, hey, listen, you understand?
Right.
You don't put nothing into this ministry. Hey, listen, it's
Angela Veronica. Hey,
yes, a God-given right. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put something in there, you understand? As long as you have that understanding. But you understand, some leaders make you feel like, hey, listen, you're dude. You understand?
Hey, let's not get off track with the definitely want to keep it for us with the music and because it's all tied in. I want to go with some of the comments that would even Kevin James was saying for this video concert that people are doing. It is a must that you have a good strong fan base, because again, you as an independent artist going out there doing it, and nobody really knows you, so that's why you have to build up that fan base through marketing and promotions. Okay, even if you've been in the game for a while or so, and you definitely want to have that presence back up in their faces, because people are quick to forget. Okay, your consistent visibility. All right. I want to say hello to Angelo and Veronica, one of the legends in the game that's on with us. She says Jesus never said to. Okay, you probably need to finish your statement on there, but definitely again, everything has changed for that, and for us when it tied into for us with pastors. Now it's like, okay, you can't really do a free concert in their church right now because you can't have no more than 10 people. Okay, I mean,
and in some localities you have to have less than 2 people. And they're telling everybody to stay home.
Let's just say that that artist did get to 10 people, right? Let's just use that for example. You got the 10 people in that church. You understand? Who's to say that pastor's like, hey, well, listen, we got 10 people. You understand? And we need to put the money somewhere else.
Okay,
you understand?
Is that from the concert that you had?
I'm just presenting a scenario.
Because you ain't gonna get much money coming from with 10 people and all. So
I give you okay. I'll entertain it a little bit. Each 10 of those people bring $200. Bring $200 a piece, like a fundraiser, like a fundraiser, a political fundraiser.
That's in a perfect world. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's use that for 1 second. You understand? Pastors right there. I'm sure, I'm 100% sure he's gonna say, hey, listen, we need to keep these doors open. We're going to either have to split that, or we're gonna have to work something out.
Well, now you don't have to worry about all that, because the artists can keep all the money. Go ahead, Rico.
What I was gonna say, man, the thing that you guys got to realize right now is you gotta reposition yourself as an artist. You have to kind of put yourself in a position to where you can follow the rules and regulations. It's very important for you to follow the rules and regulations. I posted something earlier today about a pastor was saying, he still wanted to have service. But the thing is we're not being persecuted by the church. We have a virus that is, regardless of how it got started, it's questionable. We can argue about origination, who owned the patents, all that. I mean, at this point, we are already in the middle of the ocean, right? So you want to make sure you follow the rules, stop being rebellious, stop, because right now the church is not being persecuted. They're not just singling out the churches while every other business is open. They're boarding up restaurants. They are boarding up all other type of businesses. So all of you that are saying that the church is being persecuted because of this, it's not just the church.
Yeah,
the thing is when you don't follow orders, you're going to incite a response by the government. And then what happens is now we got a whole nother set of problems because you're not following. What I saw a clip where an article where a lady, she purposely coughed on the food.
Oh my gosh.
And the whole grocery store had to totally remove $35,000 worth of food, right?
Yeah.
So now you're gonna have to have armed
What's up,
guards
Andre?
to come
Prime
back
Minister.
in to guard, right? So you're putting yourself in a bad position by not following orders, and stop listening to these wacky people that refuse to follow commands. Do not follow that. Your
Yeah.
life is more important. Go ahead.
Hey, again, if y'all want to comment on what we're talking about, again, is go to our YouTube page. All right, Ronald Smith Music Industry Makeover. Click on there and you comment so we can post it on there. And again, I have it also on our page as well too, so I can see you on there. I want to say what's up to Prime Minister, Grape Tree in the house back in the day. All right. Again, thank you all so much for joining in. As we're saying, as an artist, now is a good time to build up your fan base as an artist.
Absolutely.
Okay. Again, you want to sell records or whatever, merchandising, get people knowing who you are. All right. Promote your stuff out there. Kevin James says for a small business also, this is a good time to build their brand, get the right team of people who know how to use social media. Yes, you definitely need to hire some folks that can do social media like ourselves. So, Prime Minister says, now I'm glad I'm working from home. I get to tune. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm glad you're too. What's up, Danny? He says, amen, Rico. People are dying from disobedience to the law. That's not God's will. Exactly. Because obedience is better than sacrifice. That's what the word of God says.
Absolutely. And well, you know what? In most places, it's not necessarily the law. It's just good practice.
Right. It is in Virginia.
If we want to keep people safe,
right.
If we don't want to have, your whole congregation sick and some people dying because they have conditions that this disease will just complicate, you know. You have elderly people in the congregation. It's just good common sense, and we don't all need a law. I guess some of us do, but we all shouldn't have to have a law to follow common sense, to be prudent and care about your people.
Right.
It's not, and God will take care of the money.
Right.
Yes.
But if your people are gone because they're dead,
right.
You don't have no fans.
You only get that one sister so-and-so, once she's gone, she's gone.
Right.
Sing, child. Oh man, you bless me. Hallelujah. Yeah, praise it. Hey, well now she's gone. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
one of the ways that it's spread out here in Southwest or Southeast Georgia, 2 funerals.
Mm-hmm.
One funeral, a person was coughing or sneezing throughout the whole thing. And so all of those people, turns out that person had coronavirus. Everybody in that congregation had to be tested, and some of them had it. 2 people died. And then, of course, the people who are conducting the funeral had to go to another funeral, and they ended up spreading it to people in that church. So we have to be very, very careful.
And the thing, you know what? And I keep saying it again. It's more so than being careful. You got to be obedient. Stop being rebellious. You got to by kicking against the prick. You got to stay home. What's going to happen is I see a lot of you crying and moaning about you don't have money to pay your bills. So let me keep it 100 with you, right? As long as you keep being rebellious, not willing to listen, the time is going to be extended, and you are going to be in financial trouble because they are going to lock it down because you're not listening. I go outside, we got a cat man out here having a cookout. Like, cookout, really, bro? Cookout, right? So the thing is, it's about you listening. And I know I'm being repetitive. I said it last time before Simone started talking. It's about you guys being obedient because I see a whole lot of stuff, and all you people that are trying to disprove, to say this is a hoax, it's not real. Stop allowing Satan to use you to hurt other people.
Amen.
Because Jesus ain't telling you to do that.
Hey, now, a very good point. Reggie says on here, lots of people say that they can't invest in their careers because of the virus. So what would we say to that?
Wait. Stop. What were you doing before all this? Please, I know Ron, see, this is the thing, me and you. this is the thing me and you we wrestle with, because I want to know. I mean, before all this virus,
as an artist,
what were you doing before?
There's your
Before all
answer.
that, you just didn't become an artist when Corona kicked in. You understand? Or Rico,
Right.
am I wrong?
Bro,
You 100%. You're on the money, bro.
100. Yes,
What were you
are.
doing? You understand? So I mean, that's a big that's the mystery cookie right there. What were you doing with your money? You understand? Were you being a good steward? Whether it was $1, $10, I don't know. It's, so
Mary said that's not true. I don't know what you talked about. Could you elaborate on that? So, but yeah, Vince brings a valid point. As an artist, what were you doing before all this came about? You should have been promoting your stuff. But the reality is, again, you really not serious about being an artist.
Right. And we should all have been using online tools anyway.
Right.
They've been here all along.
And what this
So
means
now
is
we're being forced to use them.
and I'm gonna go piggyback on what Simone's finna say. It's what she said. You should be using technology to advance your ministries, right?
Right.
A lot of you been lazy. You didn't want to spend the money to buy what you needed. So now you have a lot of sellers. They're jacking the prices up for cams, jacking the prices up for computers, because now before you needed a new computer, you had the money. You didn't go and invest. You went and bought something else, and you need to have a computer that have a good screen capture system on it, right? So now only thing this means is you have to adjust to the time and get up on technology. You still can win. You still can be successful.
Yeah, and again, Mary was saying it's not true for his business stopping because of the virus. No, business is definitely continuing. And so you as an artist, again, you got to find pivotal ways. You got to find another way now. Okay. And just like she said, everybody now, you're forced to be online, which is what Kevin James and others have been saying for the longest, Reggie as well, all of us, that online radio, on streaming online, building an online fan base, that's your way to go. All right.
I think it's easy to get on Facebook and put up a group page and put your video on there. I mean, if that's the only thing you're doing, you got a long way to go. You got a long way to go, because what's happening, I'm seeing a lot of these group pages. It's like, you throw your video up there, and then, I mean, the administrator, I'm talking about the administrator, is not really putting no information on there. He's not really feeding his his fan base, his audience. He's not inviting people. I mean,
man,
I'm gonna tell you something that'll probably really help you as an artist, and it's something that you guys we've always talked about on the show. Why don't you get with 4 or 5 or 6 other artists? You can do virtual tours, right? So each of you have 50, 60 people that follow you. You all come together and put on a virtual tour, right? And do with dates and everything. Schedule everything out. Partner with these artists. You guys can to where you can sell your merchandise. It's a lot of different things that you can do to win. You just can't do it by yourself. So here we go again. Find other artists that you can partner with.
Mary wants to know if we can discuss Song Trust.
What do you want to know about Song
Trust?
Yes. Again, guys, if you want to comment, if you want us to see your comment on there, make sure you go on our Facebook page. Our YouTube page, if you want to comment on there. Again, I'm reading from my page as well, but again, we're streaming from YouTube as also, so we definitely want to see your comment. But what do you know? What do you want to know about Song Trust? Okay, again, there's a lot of avenues and platforms out there, so that you should definitely take advantage of.
So what specifically does she want to know? So I can.
Right. Let's first find out what Song Trust is, because maybe a lot of people don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, go ahead. Whoever knows what Song Trust is.
Well, I looked it up. They're the world's largest global royalty collection service.
Okay.
They streamline music publishing administration of 2 million plus songs. So if you're you may be a member of ASCAP or BMI, but they only collect royalties within the United States, with Songtrust is collecting royalties worldwide.
Mhm.
Correct. I do know that CD Baby has Songtrust built into their platform, so you can
Well,
collect royalties through
And,
them
and,
as well.
and if you want to do SunTrust, I mean, the membership is real. I think it's a one-time fee, like $100
mhm.
one time, and then you become a member. So
Well, whether it's Songtrust or CD Baby or ASCAP or whatever, y'all first need to build a fan base so you can get some royalties. All right. Again, have popular music out there. Get in contact with DJs, build relationships so those royalties can start coming to you. Because as an independent artist, you're just basically spinning your wheels like the hamster. Okay.
well, I would say the first thing that artists need to do is you first need to get your business and your paperwork in order. So you do need
Correct.
to register for BMI.
Hey,
You do need to set up your publishing. That's my brother there. You do need to set up publishing
Hey, Rick.
for your company as well, so that you can collect publishing royalties. You do need to get set up with Sound Exchange, Songtrust, right? And then you go out. You already have everything in place, and this is like never before. Now you're going to be collabing with other artists because people don't really buy records no more.
right.
I mean, people buy some at concerts, but that's not going to be a big market share or profit of your income.
Right.
It's going to be through streaming. So you got to make sure that you have your paperwork good, meaning that every time you create a song, you're loading your song up in your catalog at BMI ASCAP. If you are featuring on a song, you want to make sure you have your songwriter split sheets done, because now it's a streaming game. You cannot collect your mechanical royalties, number one, if you don't have your paperwork in order. So some people are and I know the business side of it can be kind of confusing. It's a headache sometimes, but if you leave it unchecked, it's not going to get done. So if you need help, understand that maybe we all will have a little online workshop to talk about certain things, so that you can, and maybe we'll do it, we'll do it at a small cost, so that you can, be a part of it, and we'll show you how to kind of set certain things up. But go ahead.
And as Kevin said, to your point, that that's the biggest thing that that artists have is, again, they're not in order. They don't have their business in order. So because again, they're looking at the end results. Oh yeah, I want to be this well-known artist, and it's like it don't work like that. You have to go through the process. You can't skip the process.
And because this is publishing royalties, this doesn't necessarily apply to artists who are not also the songwriters. Correct.
But it does. If you are a songwriter, you can, because if you write a song,
that's what I mean. It's for songwriters, not for artists who are not songwriters. If you are singing songs that you have not written,
right,
or you're just a performer, is what I'm saying.
Right, correct.
Oh, so basically, songwriters pretty much is benefits.
Songwriters, right? Because it's publishing. They do publishing royalties, not and composers, yes.
Now, some
royalties.
What I've seen also, I have seen people that don't write a song, don't compose a song, as a kind gesture. I have seen writers and producers give maybe a couple points or something to a person, allow them to record, so they, even if they didn't write it, because they are performing it, they could get something. But that needs to be in your agreement on your songwriter split sheets, what's being allowed to you. You can, because someone can give you, 5 points or 5% of a writer's share if you're just a performer, because it's all what you guys agree on. And whatever you have to get it in writing and put it in the system. If you don't put it in the system, you're not going to get paid. If all three of you have to put it in your catalog, and what happens is, if you put it in and your numbers do not reconcile equally with each other, it will not pay out, and nobody will contact you to let you know that. You just won't get any money. And they pay out every month. Go ahead.
Okay.
This is the Music Industry Makeover. Every Thursday night, we come on here, giving you some valuable information, tips, and things like that. Make sure you spread this word around every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you all so much for joining us out there. Okay, if you got any questions or comments, make sure you, again, I'll read it on my page, but also you could, if you want us to put it on the screen, go to YouTube, to our YouTube page, subscribe to us, and we definitely would like to address you on that. All right. Now, we talked about, for us, again, different ways for us with this live concert streaming, which is a good thing to do. But again, you build up a fan base, have a strong fan base so that you can continue doing things like that. But this is a perfect time to build up your fan base as an independent artist. Our next topic of what we was going to say. So anybody remember? I know we was all over the place and things. Oh man, I just had a brain freeze. So, Vince, what was that thing that we were talking about earlier about pretty much keeping it real when it comes to for some services and things like that?
Oh, let me add to let me just add to what Rico and Simone was saying as far as publishing is concerned. And let's just say that the music is not moving at the moment, and it went stagnant. You're waiting on checks or whatever. Be about your business, which means you need to go down to to your local city councilman or whatever. You go and try to get that tax ID, try to get your business ID together so you can sell merchandise as well. The reason why is because that tax ID. That business license, that business number ID, and the tax ID number gets you discounts on merchandise. Example, you want to sell T-shirts, and online the T-shirts are going for about $20. Those same T-shirts can cost you far less in bulk. And as far as screen printing is concerned, you can cut a deal with the screen printer, but don't go in there. Don't go into the screen shop to the T-shirt store and say, hey, listen, I want to buy. I want some shirts screen printed with the T-shirts, because he's going to charge you the shirt. He's going to charge you the shirt and the screen printing and setting it up. So if you can get the shirts on your own, and then go in there and say, hey, listen, I want it, screen printed or whatever. You can cut a deal that way. That's one way. The other thing is, you definitely want to get, there's a lot of like Walmart and different companies, major companies, they do bidding wars. What happens is that if you have that tax ID number, you're in a position to bid. Now, those are ballers, you understand? So when they get Apple watches and Apple phones and so on and so forth, they're paying about a couple of $1,000s for those phones, outbidding. Point in case is that they'll always send you information and saying, hey, listen, we got a bid, we got this going on, we got that going on, but you need that tax ID. You really need it. You understand? At the same time, set up your bank account as well, because it keeps you accountable. My philosophy is out of sight, out of mind, meaning that the money that you made from sales or whatever, from T-shirts or whatever, so on and so forth, take that money, put it away. It shouldn't have nothing to do with your work. If you're working a 9 to 5, it shouldn't have nothing to do with it. You understand? And that's where the confusion comes in. That is because we say, oh, well, I sold some T-shirts, with the exception of those who are fully, they don't have a 9 to 5 and they fully, they got their job. They got a different setup. I'm talking about you guys out there, you artists out there who's doing your little burger 9 to 5 or whatever, something like that. Put $1 or $2 away and keep, and the philosophy has to be out of sight, out of mind. You cannot, can't go back to it. You understand? You got to build on it. So
basically, you got to be disciplined in your music. All right.
Very, extremely.
In your business. Right. Because again, things do change, just like with this situation right here with this virus. It's changing the whole game. So now, how are you going to make money as an artist?
And what I want to speak to what Vince was just mentioning, what he's saying to you is that, when you own a business, because I had a clothing boutique that I would go to Atlanta and I would buy clothes from the clothing district. And if you walk in off the street and try to make purchases, number one, the costs are not really going to be cost effective for you, but they have more cost incentives for business owners when you have a tax ID as a business. So, but at the same time, I know a lot of times, because I've met so many people when it comes to trying to incorporate their business, they say, well, I don't have the money right now. You can do it through InkFile. Don't cost you maybe $150, maybe less if you did it manually. But if you don't want to, if you start off right and start doing small business in a small manner, when you do start making money, right, you don't feel overwhelmed, and then you don't get in trouble. So you want to kind of get set up the right way. So good, so good recommendation, Vince.
Definitely.
Yeah, likewise, man. Because I mean, $100 is nothing. Think of it as $2. You understand? I mean, within a week, if you do 40 hours, you're making at least $800. You're making $800. So, if you're living with somebody, put some of that money away. If an artist, if that's what you want to do. Because sometimes there are a lot of head games you guys play, and sometimes you just gotta kind of sit down and say, hey, listen, exactly what do I want to do? Who am I? Where do I want to go?
Let's talk about them head games.
Okay.
Yeah. These head games
those head games.
Plays.
Yeah. That comes from, we do get inspired. That is our favorite artist. We get inspiration from this one and that one and so on and so forth. And we get in our mind, hey, listen, I want to be like, that artist over there. You don't know what they went through, and I've heard Rico and Simone say you don't know what they had to go through to become that artist. You understand? So you got to find where you belong. Number one. Number two, again, it goes right back to what we always talked about in the very beginning. Your money, you got to start at least saving and start understanding how money works, how to save it, how to move it. You understand? You may have to find the cheapest pair of Jordans, to wear.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
You might have to stop buying Jordans altogether because it's not a good investment. With your money,
pretty much.
Right?
If you get it off eBay, you know what I'm saying, for way less than bargain, you good. But
again,
don't go in Nike.
Don't
go in Nike doing it.
That could go towards your music career too.
Right, and that's the thing that you gotta have a trade off.
Yeah.
As an artist, you have to prioritize. Right. A lot of people, man, look like, man, you got gear, dude. Like, I didn't get all my gear at one time, but I also don't buy rims for my car. I'm a factory dude, right?
So do that.
Right. So I'm not gonna pay. I saw these new Gucci Jordans. These new Gucci these new Gucci Jordans. They look good, right? They look really good. But I never buy a pair because it's $700. So for $700, buying a $700 pair of tennis shoes. Imagine if you went and put that into your marketing campaign, right? If you went and put that into building you a site, of course, buying your domain, right? Having a little money to create your logo, you have to start thinking, how can I set myself up to be branded? These are basic things. You need a logo, a website. A website is important because you own it. If you want to capture emails, you have to have a place to where you own those emails that come in. If you're using another service provider, what happens when they start wanting to charge you? I remember when I started collecting a lot of emails to Reverb Nation, and I was using Reverb Nation as an electronic press kit. Well, I had all these followers, all these subscribers, but I didn't keep the premium plan, right? So I didn't have access to my subscribers. So I ended up having to go back and have a premium plan, and I pull all my subscribers off to put them into my own server. But there are some places that would take because believe it or not, everybody's hungry right now, right? Even the big corporations are hungry for new people, and they will take your list and they will sell to your list. And even if you said, because there's a lot of other tech savvy people that know how to, because it's all software. I can go to your website, right? And I can actually get your email address and I can pull your list and I can get your customers from your list and I can market to your customers. So you want to have some protocols in place for yourself to protect your list as well. Because then what happens is if you have 20, 30 people, man, start bombarding your customer, that's going to put them in a bad place by people contacting them. And so then it may cause you not to be able to market to them as well. Go ahead.
And see, we're talking about head games here. So I like what Danny says. Head games usually come from profound ignorance. Okay. And so, and again, there's a lot of that goes on, especially when, you got artists that's trying to get free services on the sly. All right. Especially trying to use sympathy as a means to think, okay, well, yeah, you know what? You got a sob story, whatever. Okay. Yeah. Let me help you. Yeah. Let me bless you. All right. No, it doesn't work like that, guys. All right.
Well, I think what you got to realize as an artist, and I'm gonna take the high road because I know that we can kind of beat you up a little bit, right? But think about this: there's nothing free, right? We are past the free era, and what you got to do as an artist, you have to be willing to make an investment in yourself. You can't expect people to spend money with you if you're not willing to invest something in yourself, because for somebody that I look at Simone, I look at Ron, look at Vince, you can invest into your business. You can start somewhere. And in the day that we're living in, we're past the exposure point. I'd rather not have no exposure if I can't make money on a product. I'm not going to give you exposure. You got to give yourself exposure because you have the internet. Right. So that means you have to invest, stop having that mindset because this is 2020 and technology has changed. You can't really get anything of value free. Even if you go to all the websites that are offering you free stuff, they're not giving you a full meal. They're giving you ever went to a restaurant and they give you an entree, right? They give you like a sampler on a platter sampler. Right? You don't really get the full gist or the full meal or the full fulfilling of a particular food because that sampler is meant to only sample. So if you like it, then you have to go back. It's meant
to entice you to come in.
That's right.
If they're standing outside the Chinese restaurant, try my pepper steak, try my whatever. They're giving you a toothpick with a morsel on it. That morsel is going to be super good to entice you to come in and buy a meal. So then that's basically what anything you get online for free. There's a ton of sites out there and a lot of people are trying to build their careers off of free. We do free podcasts, and we give free nuggets away. That's to entice you to come in. You can't really build a career on that. You have to come into the store, come in past that paywall, past the doors, and see what all this goodness that you can have if you would just invest.
Right there, Rico and Simone, right there. I want to touch on that because music industry makeover is pretty much like a third tier group, meaning that the artists already have to have a plan or idea of where he or she is going before they come, and say, hey, listen, Simone, Rico, Ron, this is what I want to do. This is the direction I want to go in. It's almost like you go into a bank, you have the cash in your hand, and they ask you, how may I be a service? And so, and you have to articulate to them, hey, listen, I would like to open up a savings account. I would like to open up a checking account, and do this and do that. You understand? You don't come in there. You can, you understand, and say, hey, yes, no, baby. So you understand? They go, sure, no problem. We'll figure it out for you. But by the time you done got to music industry makeover, you have an idea of, hey, listen, this is the direction I would like to go in. You understand? Because it believe me, if you don't know, and I mentioned this before, if you don't know where you're going, surely we don't.
But and I like what Vince said. You have to go to the bank with money. Going to the bank without money to do business is asinine.
Oh yeah.
Right? Unless you go into the bank to get your mama, sister, or friend to work and tell them you outside in the car, you're ready to go, it serves no purpose for you to go to the bank with no money, right? If you don't already have money in the bank, right? So that is a very powerful,
very good example
analogy, because you need to have money when you go in the bank. Now think about that for a second. When you go and get gas, because sometimes you guys got to think stuff through, right? Because capitalism is about programming you, right? You're programmed. When you go to get your gas, you know it ain't no discounts unless you got a gas card like a Shell or with Dixie, Walmart, gas pump, whatever. You are already conditioned that this gas is not going to be free. You're going to pay whatever is on the board, right? Even if you're traveling from church, you hit a small spot and that gas is 25 cents higher, but you know your hand is on E. When you go in, you may sit in that car and say, man, that gas dark 25 cents higher than everywhere else. What you're going to do is you're going to pull that money out your pocket and you're going to pay it because you know there is no option. It's the same mindset. It's the same mindset in business. If you present yourself in business to always look for something for nothing or to cut corners, sometimes in life, ladies and gentlemen, you can't cut corners.
Let me say this real quick. Right behind Rico. I am a senator. You understand? Matter of fact, I'm running for office. You understand? If I'm running for office, I'm getting at least some of my most people. I'm getting the most highest, people who make money. You understand? Who's an influence in that community. And I'm saying, hey, listen, I need to put on a fundraiser. I need a fundraiser to $5,000, a plate or whatever. And, we want to fundraise because I'm running for governor of whatever state. You understand? This is how politics work. These guys get out here, you understand, with the exception of our president, who already had money. You understand? Some of these guys get out here on the campaign trail and raise money. You understand? They say whatever they have to say. They say all the nice stuff on and put it on a platter. You understand? And some of the the wealthiest ones say, hey, listen, here's the money. I want you to serve my community. For example, they may say, hey, I want more police in my community. You understand? So, that's what the fundraiser is for. You understand? I'm giving you money so you can go to Washington or go to the state and say, hey, listen, elect me on that whole thing. So, yeah.
So they go and build a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
A fan base.
One thing I want to highlight this message that Mary posted. We also have to be professional in the service provided and our success stories. We do have success stories. We have some testimonials. We haven't put that out there on the website yet, but we do have them. And as far as being professional in our services, we strive every day to treat our clients like superstars. We treat them ask any of the people who work with us. They love us. What we've done recently is that we put in place a step-by-step process so that you don't have to be with us forever. You come in, you take advantage of our services. We're going to take you step-by-step from where you are now to where you want to be.
Right.
And we believe that in doing that, it will help you to be successful and help you take your ministry to another level. You're not just going to come in and we're going to send out a few flyers. We're going to actually teach you how to keep it going.
Right. Because again, it's that hands-on treatment to where we want to see you successful. When you succeed, we succeed. Okay, we're not saying that we're the best at this. There's a lot of other marketing and communication companies out there. And we thank God for them. But we are who we are. And yeah, you don't have to use us. And we would love to have you. But if it doesn't work out that way, it is what it is. But you need to definitely go to whatever establishment and have a plan of where you're trying to go with your music?
I ain't gonna lie. I tell Ron this all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I've seen public relation companies. I got a brother who's in New York. He's a local artist. You understand? And even he couldn't afford the prices. You understand? There's no hold bars on these public relation companies. They know already. You understand?
Right.
And their reputation is on the line. So that being said, with a no-brainer, you understand? If they think, hey, listen, you broke, you understand? You know what I'm saying? Find somebody else, just find somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be bothered at all.
I want to throw something in there.
Yeah.
Think about when you get ready to go to a restaurant. Now, me personally, when I go to a restaurant and I'm gonna pay for a meal, how many of you out there have been to a restaurant and it's gonna cost you $15 for this meal, but when you get your meal, the portions are small, right? The portions do not equate to the amount of money that you spent. So as a customer,
Right.
I would rather go to a restaurant. If I'm gonna spend that same $15.99, I want to be able to get a bang for my buck. The thing that you get with MIM that we can't, there's no way for us to script it or to put it into an ad. You're getting a lot of knowledge, number one. Number two, when you do sit down with certain people, they don't give you free ideas. They'll try to charge you ideas, but we give you ideas. We tell you how to expand your ministries, how to do things better. Even when I build websites for clients, there are certain things that I do and I won't charge my clients for. So that's the thing. We may not be the most popular, right? So whether you come to me, Ron, or Simone, we may not be the most popular. We don't have those type of ads because that's why we do our podcast, so you can get to know who we are as individuals, right? So we're just not strangers. And it's not about, we're trying to give you value now because we're trying to teach you how to expand. A lot of you already know how to expand to a degree, but you don't know how to expand because the world is big. You can spend a lot of money and never get nothing accomplished, right? And you won't see where your money goes. So that's why it's important for you to have some help.
And no man is an island. No one who is successful did it by themselves. Matter of fact, even Jesus Christ himself, okay? Yeah.
He had a team.
He had a team.
Yes, he did.
He did. So.
He sure did. He sure did. And think about it. Lawyers, what's that? A retainer fee just to sit down and have a conversation with them for an hour. Just the conversation alone. It's 300. Some of them is 300 to 300. That's minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
That's minimum right there for a lawyer. You know,
for that time. Yeah. So yes, definitely. Again, this is the Music Industry Makeover. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right. Want to give definitely shout out to our sponsor or so. We thank God for her. Miss Patricia, go ahead on and again get that bundle. As I said, y'all already quarantined.
Bundle.
Put it on and get all the channels and the internet at $99. You can't beat it. If you'd like to be a sponsor for the show as well too, contact us. We love to connect with you out there. All right. Yes, Danny. Yes, squad goals. You got to have those goals. What's up, Al Green? How you doing, my good buddy out there? Hope you all are being safe or so. Hey, Rico, tell them about your show. Tune in tomorrow.
Tomorrow night in the Box podcast. We're going to be on at 9 p.m. We have special guest Dice Gamble. And the show in the Box is the show is for creatives. Whether you produce music, you're an engineer, music promoter, DJ, artist, it's a show for creatives to teach you, not only the how-tos of the business aspect, how to be greater as a creator, how to overcome obstacles in your creative space, teaching you how to network, teaching you how to build a relationship, teaching you about the business. So I bring guests on to give you their experiences. Because sometimes you can learn a whole lot by the person that's passing by. They come and share certain things because we all don't have the perfect way,
No,
right?
Mhm.
And that's the whole idea about the show In the Box. So it's not about, we'll bring people on, Ron hosting it with me. We'll bring people on that you do know because it's a show for creators. So you will have people. I got Cuzzo DeVille that's going to come. Cuzzo DeVille was in Stump the Yard. He was in Twitter. So I do have people that's not necessarily in a church space that'll come on, but you can learn from anybody. And I think we fall short because we tend to only want to eat from certain people, and the people that we want to eat from don't necessarily have the answers that we need.
Right. That's good. That's good.
To get us outside the fishbowl, right? So it's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, not just people in the church. So that's what I want to do with the platform. And I think it's important for me to say that because I have some other people lined up that's going to be coming on. Obviously because it's a broadcast. There's no cursing on the show because I want to make sure the show stay up. So whether you Christian, non-Christian, you still got to be clean because I'm not going to be out here editing the words out, right? So right now I want to put on the show, but you have to learn how to learn from other people. It's not about you liking a person. We fall short in the body of Christ because we don't know how to deal with people. I can learn from you whether you like me or not. I like you, but man, if you're gonna tell me how I need to put these Legos together, you can call me fat, musty. If I know I need to make $2,000 and learn these Legos, and you got the answer, man, you call me fat, musty, stink breath. I'm gonna be right here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get what I need to get.
Right.
That is maturity, right? Stop trying to feel like you have to like a person in order to learn something from them.
That's
because there's a whole lot of teachers in school that you might have not have liked, and they ain't like you, but they still showed you how to work that problem on the board, right?
Right.
So
right.
I hope
That's
that nugget, I just gave you a nugget. So
That was a good nugget.
Yeah,
Good one.
and
Good
that's
one.
something that I believe in as well. I mean, if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see people on there who are not church folk.
Mhm.
I bring them on. I tell them this is a show for Christian artists. Please refrain from dropping F-bombs.
Like your boy
And
Gary.
they do, but they give you good
Yeah.
good information, stuff that you can learn from, stuff that
Right.
I've learned. I've learned a lot from just different people and from different walks of life. You don't have to like them to learn from them. I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan, but when he goes ranting about his political beliefs, I forward that part. Like, okay, Dave, I know this is what you believe or whatever, but let's get back to telling me how to get out of debt. Let's get back to that part.
And definitely, like your boy Gary
Gary V. Vaynerchuk.
Vaynerchuk.
Oh my goodness, that dude.
Hey,
He'll drop an F-bomb like this. No big deal. Whatever.
I mean, but man, he's very inspirational. He gives a lot of good stuff, and he's successful. Okay,
Yeah, he is, very.
And so it's just all about again being mature, as Rico said, and knowing, okay, look, I need to get to the certain level, and just because some people may call themselves Christians, they may not have what you need. Okay, not saying that they're not
That's
good people, but again, they may not have what you need to go to the next level. All right. And, yeah, go ahead, Vince. Anything you want to add there? I know you're the behind the scenes guy and everything. So,
man, it was a good show tonight. Music Industry Makeover. Go to the group page and
yes, go join our page.
Check out, see what's going on. Don't forget In the Box and SJ Music. Definitely catch Simone on YouTube. Please get the information. Get the information, people. We putting it out there.
Yes, he is.
We do care. We do care. We're not hustling. We're not hustlers.
Nah.
We're ministers by heart, but just come on now. Certain
We
things.
want to see you succeed.
Yes.
And we're giving you some great nuggets here.
Yeah.
But when you come in on the inside, that's when you get the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly. And don't try to play head games with us, please. All right.
No head games.
All right. Just be straight up and honest. Say, look, I don't have X, Y, Z or so. Okay. You never know how people might bless you when you're honest up front. Okay.
Honesty. That's right.
And unfortunately, a lot of Christians have a problem being honest. Yeah, go ahead. Rico.
I was gonna say, man, I may bless you, but when you get to that gas station, you know you need gas, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna pay that money, right? You're gonna pay that money. So a blessing is not always meaning that we're gonna give you something. We'll give you different things. You teach a man to fish versus giving him a fish, he'll be able to eat all the time.
All of
That's
that.
right.
So knowledge is very important, right? And
Right.
I know for a fact, because you just see my brother pop up, he and I have been through a lot of things through the years. And there was a whole lot of people that would not share anything with me. Even if I was willing to pay it, they didn't want to share it because they want to hoard all the information to themselves. So whenever you have people that are willing to share the right information with you, and because I have experience in the workforce, been an entrepreneur, been in, working for people, I'd rather pay for good information versus getting information at no cost and it's not been validated, it's not
Right.
been proven. I have to go through my trials and errors in order to find out what I need to pay for. When I see a lot, because me being an entrepreneur, there's a lot of software that I buy, and a lot of these guys and girls that sell software, they don't really care about your productivity and what you've already spent. They only care about selling the software, right? They don't show you how to use it. They don't talk about your ease of use or what setting that you need to use it in. The only concern is doing a transaction. So for me, I would rather buy information from a person that's going to give me the right information so I don't have to keep spending money. So I spend it one time. So that's how you train your mindset, right? So, and that's going to help you. And that'll help you with everything that you do in life. It depends on how you view what you're trying to accomplish. I used to have that when I was younger. I'll try to do stuff for free, but going on in life, man, I don't want anything for free, because then if something goes wrong,
You gotta look over your back too.
I gotta look over my back. I don't do stuff by favors, right? Because I don't want to ask you for a favor, right? And because if I ask you for a favor, that means that you may ask for a favor back, and I can't reciprocate that favor because maybe it's not the right timing.
Right.
Maybe it's because something I don't want to do. And then now our relationship is hurt because you did something for me.
That's good.
And now you want me to do something in return, and it's just not convenient, and it's not that time, so I don't believe in doing favors. Now, the friends that I have that we do, it's with friends. That's different. But you don't run a business off the favor system, right? You can run a business off the trade and barter system, right? But you still can't always, that trade and barter system don't always work, because what you're trying to trade for just may not be what you need to get to the next point. We do some trade and barter, but we don't do a lot of trade and barter, because sometimes we need a tangible dollar, because that's something that has to be paid.
Right.
That we can't go and trade and barter on the back end, right? I'm giving you a nugget, hoping you're catching it.
Man,
all right, y'all, it's past my bedtime. So
all right, y'all.
How are we going to, what is the final word?
Oh, yeah. Well, make sure y'all tune in to my show. All right. Okay. DJ Ronnie Ron's Top 10 playlist, and look for Hip Hop Praise radio show and all of that. Okay. Love to connect with you. Remember, you matter in the kingdom of God. So don't compare yourself or your ministry to anyone else. Just do what God's called you to do, and you'll be just fine. All right. Hey, it is what it is.
Right.
All right. God bless y'all.
Thursday night with us.
Thank you so much. Be safe, y'all.
Night.
Yeah, Friday night.